After watching this debacle versus Seahawks last night, nobody can convince me that there aren't bigger issues behind the scenes going on that we are yet to know of. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, kick Dingbat here. Hope everybody's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Me, not so much. I'm pissed off. Pissed off. I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm hungry. I got 4 kids in the back of my head about to explode, and they're probably going to put me on blood pressure medicine by the end of this week. And let me tell you, my blood pressure a week ago was perfect, but it's all going to hell because the Eagles are driving me absolutely, utterly insane. Insane, man. I am beyond myself. I am so frustrated. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel, hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I am the most censored, most throttled, Eagles content creator in all of the internet. So you don't want to miss anything. The only way to be sure you'll get anything I put out there is to be subscribed. So do it, because I don't know where the hell I'm going to be after this video. I don't even know where this video is going to go. I am freaking pissed off, man. I am pissed off. I am sick of the sacrificing of all the damn chickens that they do in Dallas to screw us. I'm pissed. And I got to tell you, this team is driving me mad and driving me crazy. And I will say this. This team is fundamentally flawed. Fundamentally flawed. And nobody can tell me that this collapse is because the Eagles just don't play good football, or just Jalen Hurts hasn't been good, or because of there is something going on inside the locker room or front office that is bigger than anything we realize right now. And that is trickling down into the game. I believe it. You could tell by the way the players are carrying themselves. You could tell by things they're saying. Jalen Hurts saying they're not committed enough. I don't even know what he meant by that. Does he mean the players aren't committed to doing what they need to do? The front office, the coaches? What? I don't know. But I know that everybody's frustrated. I know the players are frustrated. I know the coaches are frustrated. And I know that there's a lot of blame to go around. I know that, you know. Listen, I got a lot of Cowboy fans saying, do you want to take back what you said about our team, you know, the day before this game? No. Everything I said about the Cowboys after the Bills game is true. The Cowboys are chokers. December is Cowboys choke season. It comes every year, and it's guaranteed. Now, the Eagles, they're not chokers like the Cowboys. The Eagles are epic collapsers. They have epic collapses that they put in history books. All right? When we collapse, it's epic. They write books about it. They'll be writing books about this season. How do you go from 10-1, 2 games up in first place, to where you're at now, where the division, you could lose it. You could possibly lose it. Now, you're not going to, let me explain the scenario of where the Eagles currently are, because a lot of Cowboy fans are confused. They send me messages, oh, no, the Cowboys have the tiebreaker because of the points for. That's not it. All right, you have the head-to-head, the division, the conference, and one of the tiebreakers is strength of schedule. Now, if the Eagles win out and the Cowboys win out, the Eagles win the division because of strength of schedule. The Eagles have played tougher teams than the Dallas Cowboys. Now, let's say the Cowboys lose to Miami next week and the Eagles lose to the Giants. Dallas will then control the tiebreaker because of the Eagles having the extra conference loss. So the Eagles control their own destiny for the division. Unfortunately, the number 2 seed is not in the Eagles' pockets anymore. Detroit controls their own destiny for the number 2 seed. Now, we might have to be in a situation where you're actually rooting for Dallas to beat Detroit to get the 2 seed, if the Eagles can find a way, you know. And listen, I'm trying really hard because I don't believe this team is winning a Super Bowl. I don't believe they're getting into the second round of the playoffs. I think maybe at best they win one playoff game and then they're done. That's it. That's all I got. If they even got that, I think it's very likely they're probably going to lose at least one more game in the next three. That's what I'm saying. Like I want to go off on this team. Like I want to fire everybody. Like, emotionally, I'm a wreck. I'm absolute mother humping wreck. But I'm really trying in my life to be better. I'm trying not to be such an extremist. My uncle always says, "Yo, Philly." My uncle Paulie, he said, "Yo, Philly, you're an extremist. You're always one extreme to the other. There's never moderation with you." And I go, "I know. It's a horrible thing, but it's true. And in a lot of ways, I've had a lot of successes because of it. And in a lot of ways, it's been a thorn in my side. But I'm always one extreme to the other. So my instinct right now is to go to the extreme that you need to fire everybody. You need to get rid of it. It's all done. Forget the 3 games. Just let it go. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to feel right now. However, I'm really trying to be level-headed and be somewhere in the middle, because things are usually never as bad as they seem, and they're never as good as they seem. Just remember, a few weeks ago, Jalen Hurts runs into the end zone in overtime, and he beats the Buffalo Bills. The Eagles are 10-1. He is the odds-on favorite to win the MVP. Odds-on favorite. Now, he's the worst quarterback in the league. People say we shouldn't have paid him. He's overrated. He's horrible. What a horrible year. How do you go from a horrible year to, how do you go from leading MVP to having a horrible year? See, it's not one extreme or the other. It's somewhere down the middle. And I'm an extremist. I'm really working on trying to be, more moderation. Let me give you an example, all right? All right, so everybody knows I need to lose weight, especially if you go to Mark Holmes' comments, because all they can do is take shots at my weight like it's going to affect me. It doesn't. That's probably a bad thing. But, I don't care what people say. When I decide to do something, I do it. When I don't do it, I don't do it. I don't know why. It's weird. But, take eggnog. I love eggnog, for example, right? Normally, I would just be pounding eggnog right now. Boom, 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 boom. It's a holiday. Drink as much in a month as I can. But I'm not doing it. I lost 21 pounds leading up to a few weeks ago. I gained 2 back. But I'm like, I can't drink that much eggnog this year. I got to do it in moderation. I got to be in moderation. So I tried to have a little cup of eggnog. So I have a little cup. I'm like, this sucks. I'm like, boom, it's done. I need a big ass glass of eggnog. So what do? Instead of saying, well, I'm just going to settle for the little glass and be happy and have just a little bit. No, I'm not drinking it. I'd rather not drink it. And that's what I do. So I go from big glass eggnog to no eggnog. So I just have a little bit. That's the kind of thing I'm working with. And I'm trying not to do it with the Eagles, because right now I want to fire everybody, get rid of everybody, and it's all over. That's what I want to do. But I know it's not the right thing. It's not the right thing, because they got 3 games left. And if they win out, they win the division. And maybe they even get the number 2 seed. The question is can this team turn it around? Can they find themselves? I don't believe this team is as bad as we looked the last 3 weeks. I don't believe we're really a 10-1 team. I think what happened was the Eagles had a quarterback who wills this team to victory, puts this team on his back, and plays his ass off. And this team is talented enough to survive really bad coaching. Really bad coaching. And they've been doing it and doing it and doing it, and the wheels are starting to fall off. You can only do so much. And now it's starting to collapse. And I think there's internal things going on with the front office, with the coaching, with the players that we don't know about. That's why Desai got replaced this week after Nick Sirianni said it wasn't going to happen. Okay, there's stuff going on. We're going to find out after the season, and we're going to be like, oh, no wonder. No question about it. There's a lot of blame to go around in last night's game. There's a lot. Nick Sirianni was not good. He hasn't been good. Jalen Hurts was horrible last night. He was horrible. He's missing guys. He doesn't see guys. He's afraid to check down. He only going for the deep play. It takes way too long to get rid of the ball. He wasn't good. The defense, they're bad every week. James Bradbury is bad. It's so bad that as soon as Slay comes back, I would put Ringo on the other side and bench Bradbury. You just can't have him out there. I mean, dude, if you want to take a positive out of last night, it's Kelee Ringo. It's Eli Ricks. They played good. They need to play more. And I got mad at Sidney Brown for missing tackles, but he played pretty good too. He's got a lot of upside. These guys got upside. Why weren't they playing earlier in the year? Bradbury is the guy that the Seattle Seahawks went after. Do you realize Drew Lock went 90-something yards with just over a minute and one timeout and scored a touchdown? It's pathetic. It's pathetic. The Eagles didn't blitz him one time on that final drive. Why would you not blitz a guy like that? It doesn't make sense. The Eagles, I mean, listen, I know they replaced Desai with Patricia. Patricia can only do so much. You can't change the whole scheme. So it's really bad. The defense is bad. The quarterback was bad. The coaching was bad. The offensive coordinator is bad. And I think a lot of this falls on the front office because I believe 100% this is all about the analytics department. I believe that the Eagles make their whole entire game plan based on analytics. I believe the defensive scheme that they want to run is based upon analytics. Why is it that you have Jim Schwartz in Cleveland was one of the best defenses in the National Football League? Why is Jonathan Gannon blitzing like crazy in Arizona right now? Why didn't he do that with the Eagles? I watch him, I watch them play and he's running blitzes. I'm like, dude, you never ran blitzes like that with us. Why? Because I don't think that the front office allows these coordinators to come in and run the scheme they want. I think they force them to run an analytic-based scheme. And the analytics says, don't give up the big play. Big plays cost you games. It's better to die by 1,000 paper cuts and keep everything in front of you. And that's their philosophy. And it'll never win in the NFL, in my opinion. Maybe it won 2017, but, Brady did throw for over 500 yards. To me, they've got to change some of those things. They need to go get linebackers. They need to stop acting like linebackers don't. There's just so much, right? There's so much. And yes, emotionally, mentally, I want to just fire everybody, start all over. Let's just go into the offseason. But I can't do that. They've got 3 games to go. Now, I'm not predicting any more games. I ain't doing my preview prediction video. I ain't doing any more predictions. I ain't giving any more. It ain't worth it. It is not worth a damn. When we play these next 3 games, I expect the worst to happen. I'm going to expect the worst. I'm going to root for my team. I'm going to give them everything I have. I'm going to hope for the best. But I'm not expecting anything. How can I? How can anybody? Anybody that is done with this team for the year, I get it. It's frustrating. This is one of the most frustrating teams I've ever seen because they have so much friggin' talent, especially on the offense, and they don't know how to use it. And I just wonder how the hell are they going to get through this week without finger pointing, without the media having things spill over. We heard about Jalen Hurts' comments about the team not being committed. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know if he's talking about the players, the coaches. Who's he talking about? It's crazy. And I know Jalen Hurts blames himself, and he wasn't good. He wasn't good. You can't be scared to check down. He checks down to Devontae Smith. He probably had like a 50-yard run. They're at the 45-yard line. They take a deep shot to Quez Watkins. You didn't need to do that. Just keep driving and killing the clock. At the worst, you kick 3, and it's a 7-point game. But, it's like, I just don't get it. I don't get what they're doing. And, I don't believe anything that comes out of this front office or this coaching staff. When Nick Sirianni gets up there and says, well, we ain't making more changes, we ain't doing anything else, I don't believe him. How can I? He said the same thing and then replaced Desai. It's craziness right now. But at the end of the day, this team has 3 games left. The question is, and people say to me, I'm getting a lot of comments, well, yo, Philly, the 49ers lost 3 in a row. Yeah, they did, but there's a big difference. They didn't do it in December. You got to be playing your best football going in December and January. Eagles haven't won in December yet. So how does this team turn it around and get things going. Do I believe the Eagles have the talent to do that? Yes. One of the things I don't agree with is when people say the Eagles are lucky, they never really should have won all these games. The Eagles went to the Super Bowl, were one drive away from the Super Bowl last year. They've been in first place with the best record in the league for like 32 straight weeks. Okay? That's not luck. That's talent. You have a good team if you're doing that. But I think the lack of coaching, I think the bad coaching has started to really hurt this team. I think there's more going on in the locker room than we know. And so, when it comes to these last 3 games, I hope they get it done. I hope they can turn it around. I think they have the talent that if they can turn it around, get hot, they could be really, really tough in the playoffs and do a lot of damage. But I don't see any signs of life right now. I'm asking, proof of life. We need proof of life. And I'm not getting it. So we're going to find out. This team most likely probably will drop at least one more game. I mean, they're not playing very good football right now. You don't think Jonathan Gannon wants to come in and whip our ass? What are we going to do when he's coming out and he's blitzing our ass? You're going to say, we want Jonathan Gannon back. I don't think it's the coordinator. I think it's the scheme that's coming from the front office. This team is in big trouble. Big trouble. I don't think they can win a Super Bowl. I don't think they'll win one playoff game. Maybe they win one playoff game. That's it. That's what I think most likely is going to happen. Can it change? Yeah. Will I be hoping and rooting? I will be rooting for them. I will be doing everything I can on my end to try to get them to win these games. But, man, it's hard to have any confidence right now. It's very frustrating. I think this is one of the epic collapses I've ever seen. Remember, they were 10-1 with 2 games up in first place. 2 games up in the conference. Now you're a game behind. I mean, it's an epic collapse. And the effort yesterday versus Seattle sucked. You only scored 17 points versus Seattle. Seattle's struggling. I don't care that they always beat us and you got to do better than that. This team has got a lot of problems. And I think this week is going to be really interesting because I think the players and things are going to start to spill out in the media. I think we're going to find some big different things going on. And by the end of the year, I wouldn't be surprised if they replace the whole coaching staff. I mean it. I wouldn't be surprised because if the coach goes to them and wants more power, wants more control, or more say-so, they'll get rid of him, just like they did with Doug Peterson. So we'll find out. It's frustrating. I'm frustrated. I don't know what else to say. They've just ruined my whole Christmas. My favorite time of the year leading up to Christmas. And they blew it, It's not like we went 1-1 the last 2 weeks and then lost this game. They're blowing everything, okay? They're blowing everything. It's crazy, This team has to win out so that they can win the division. They have to win out. Will they? I don't know. But the Cowboys and the Eagles, it's going to come down to the final week, most likely. And the Eagles, all they have to do is win, and they get that division. And that all they have to do is very, very hard because of the way they're playing. Do they have the talent to turn it around? Yes. Will they turn it around? There's no reason to believe it at this point. That's just the honest truth. So I'm frustrated. I'm pissed off. And you know what? We're going to see what happens later. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it. I'm saying this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like, how is this stuff not going to spill out into the public? I see A.J. Brown's going off about the fans and pissed off that Jalen Hurts threw the ball and he's got a lot of tweets talking about last night and the frustrations. It's crazy. It's crazy. It is going to be a very interesting week, and we really need to hear what's really going on with this team and in this locker room, because there is way more going on than we are led to believe. With that said, Denzel Washington out.